Post-game show where the Phoenix Suns opened up the 2023-24 NBA season with a win over the Warriors 108-104. We love hearing that sexy sax on a Suns game day. How y'all doing?
It's a weird setup, I'm not going to lie. We had to give the big studio to the Diamondbacks. It's what happens when you make a World Series. So we're making do with it. We've got Lindsay on the planet Mars and 3 guys jammed at a tiny table. So let's do this.
Hey,
Perfect.
It's a good night in the Valley. Like, listen, if this is what it takes to get the D-backs to the World Series and the Suns to get a W on their season opener, I'm here for it.
The vibes are immaculate. That's all I'll say.
Feeling good in the Valley.
Who needs steps when you got an elevator?
Exactly. All right, guys, let's tip things off. We're going to put 1 minute on the clock for the Hot Minute. Espo, break it down. What'd you see in tonight's game?
All right, so I'm going to be honest. First quarter, I didn't see much because I was watching the D-backs, but Book had 15 points in 7 minutes. Nurk had 7 rebounds. Suns and Warriors were tied 28-28. Second quarter, offense was stagnant with the bench. Gordon stayed aggressive even though he wasn't hitting great shots. No points for the Suns from 9:28 to 7:39 and only 1 bucket in that entire time in the quarter. Suns were only shooting 37% from the field right there. D-Book had some great back down spin moves in there that led to a 17-3 run with Book and Nurk back on the court. Nurk earned his first double-double as a Sun there in that quarter. Suns led at the half, 61-46 there. Devin Booker, a great first half. Third quarter, this is tough. Third quarter, the Warriors,
play-by-play.
basically the Warriors wound up kicking the Suns' ass in that quarter. They took an 86-80 lead. Yeah, you do that math. It's a lot to a little in that quarter there. At one point, at one point, it was a 30-12 run for Golden State.
Whoa.
Suns came back in the fourth. They kicked some ass, and they wound up winning 108-104. This is difficult. I don't like this.
Let's go home. Great breakdown. That's
All
it.
right, we out.
Yeah.
We did it.
We out.
That was your Hot Minute. Great job, Espo.
There was nothing hot about that minute.
It was a hot mess.
This better get better, all right?
Listen.
I have 4 pages of notes here. I don't even know what I'm doing.
You'll get better. It's opening night. You'll
Holy
get better.
crap. I look like the Suns' offense at times.
There you
just
go.
all over the place.
See, it all ties in.
You did that just like the game went, actually.
Hello wants to know how much I drank. Nothing.
Nothing.
That's the thing about it.
All right, guys, well, let's talk about it. Here's the first and foremost for me. It's that this game was kind of ugly in a lot of parts, right? We were without Bradley Beal. Things got just a little bit gross to watch, not fun at all. But the Suns showed some resiliency. They came back. They got the W. What stood out to you about the way in which they maneuvered the ups and downs of this game?
I think the biggest thing for me was the fact that they overcame a lot of feeling out process. Like on the defensive end, you could tell guys were not always in the right spots. And thankfully, the Warriors did miss a lot of shots tonight. And then offensively, you could tell Frank Vogel is trying to find lineups to work with, not having one of his big 3 in there. We saw that run in the first and second quarter that the Warriors went on. There was a 9.5-minute stretch where they scored 6 points. They were 1 of 12 and they had 6 turnovers. Like, it allowed the Warriors back in the game. We saw the third quarter just trying to find things to work, but down the stretch, it was Point Book that was able to carry them to victory. And we'll talk about him in a little bit, but he scored or assisted their last 15 points of that game to close things out. So you want to see shooters make shots like we didn't see from some guys tonight. You want to see Book cut down on the turnovers and the Suns in general, but overall, they made the plays down the stretch that they needed to.
Yeah, for me, it was inefficiency for both teams. I mean, this game was, shooting-wise, it was 78 of 196. 196 shots in this game, 78 makes. This is not what you thought from a Golden State Warriors Phoenix Suns matchup. Granted, is the first game of the season. The Suns, most of these guys have never played an actual game together, but neither team shot over 33% from deep. I mean, the Warriors shot 23%. This was an out-of-character game across the board, but the Suns found a way to win where the Warriors couldn't.
Yeah, you guys nailed it. I mean, I think what stood out to me was the resilience and the ability to adjust on the fly on opening night, and how much the veterans on this team, guys like Eric Gordon, Grayson Allen, even though they didn't shoot the ball well, they did it on the fly. And to go to Golden State and do that on the fly and still come out with a victory tells me that there's some really good things to look forward to with this team going forward.
Yeah, I mean, how many nights is KD shoot 32%
Right.
from the field, and you're still going to find a way to get a win in a very hostile environment?
Right.
Is that about as bad as you think the offense could get for the Suns, or how you feeling?
Yeah,
I hope so.
I mean, yeah. In a game where you have two of your three big three out there, yeah, I think this is about as bad as it can get. I mean, you look across the board. Eric Gordon was 4 of 16, which is just ridiculously bad for him. And then Grayson Allen, 0 of 6, 0 of 5 from deep. I mean, I don't think you're going to see that happen again at all. And like I said, KD with 31% from the field. This is a guy that shot 55, 40 and 90 last year. That's an outlier for sure.
I don't think it can get worse. I mean, KD he gets you 20 and 10 basically tonight, and this is a terrible night for KD standards. And then you got Eric Gordon and Grayson Allen. At one point, they were 3 for 20. So, I mean, I don't know that you can do any worse. And again, they found a way to figure it out on the road. So that's a positive.
And even if some of those guys have off shooting nights, like maybe not all at the same time will it ever happen again. Because holy crap.
Let's just rotate, please, and thank you.
But we felt like that last year, and we saw this offense get weirdly anemic all at once. So obviously different lineup, but saying hopefully we don't see it again.
Yeah,
hopefully we don't.
It's just with Eric Gordon's 15-year track record, I have a hard time believing that that's what we're going to see from him. Grayson Allen is a lot better than he showed tonight on both ends, I think. And we know Kevin Durant. Like we're hoping to see less turnovers, a little more ball security with KD, a little better shot selection, because it feels like since he's come to the Suns, that hasn't always been spot on. But we know based on his Hall of Fame career, he's going to get it flowing. He's going to get it on track. Like this was only his 21st regular season game with the Suns. There's all new teammates. So we knew there'd be a filling out process. We knew it would take some time, but I think for me, the biggest thing is that guys pushed through it. Like you mentioned, EG, that 1-3 that he hit in the fourth quarter was big. He found Eubanks on the roll for another play, got the steal that led to a Booker layup. Like he just made big plays in the fourth quarter, and that's what you expect from a veteran like him.
And that's part of what I meant by the veteran process of this basketball team. Think about this. One of the biggest shots in the game was that Eric Gordon 3 from the wing. And at that point, he's shooting terrible. And guess who believed in him? Devin Booker. Sat there and said, I know what EG is. I know what you can do. Gave him the opportunity, and he nailed it. And so that's the part of this basketball team that's very unique. And they played in mud tonight, and again, got the dub.
Well, that shot, you're right. He hits that three-pointer to make it 106-101 with 42 seconds left, and that basically shuts the door there. And that's what you need from Eric Gordon. Even if he has a bad night like this, he is that guy that has been there, has done that. This is a situation where last year they probably don't have somebody hit that shot. It's a different story there. But Eric Gordon, even when he only goes 2 of 9 from deep, hits it there late. So,
and does Book have the confidence to pass? Like last year, he wouldn't have the confidence to pass to anyone in that spot, right? And here it's comfortable. Here you go, EG, make that shot.
All right, guys. I think we should start by handing out some flowers.
Yes.
Okay, like I know that there were some rough parts, and we will talk about those specifically. But since it's opening night, we got to start with the bright points, right? We're going to start by handing out some flowers. And first and foremost, we got to give some flowers to Devin Booker because he did not have any downs in tonight's game. He came out firing on all cylinders. Espo, as you mentioned, he had 15 points in the first 7 minutes of this game. Devin finished with 32 points tonight. It's so much fun to watch Devin. It feels like it's been a continuation. We talked about it in the preseason, but again, you got to take the preseason with a grain of salt because of the way that teams are playing. It's preseason. We get that. But tonight, it did sort of still feel like there was a continuation from the playoffs of last year to this opening night game. How do you guys think about, or what do you think about Devin tonight?
I think it was a continuation from the playoffs and the preseason. I mean, he's been doing this all preseason.
Yeah.
I really believe that this Devin Booker you saw tonight is the guy that you're going to see for most of the year. I just feel like he's unlocked, and I feel like the guys on this team understand that Devin or Armani Booker is the best player on this basketball team, and he's going to be the guy that's going to ride them where they need to go. And I love that Kevin is able to sit there and do the little intricacies that allow Devin to be the Devin Booker we're seeing this year. I tell you what, 32, 8, and 6. I mean, that's incredible, and I would not be shocked if that's, again, a similar stat line that this guy's going to be flirting with all season.
Look, Phoenix is one nation under Book. We know that. And plug there. Anyways, though, but when you look at it, all we heard was this team doesn't have a true point guard. In the final minutes of a game when it's chaotic, there won't be anybody to settle them down. Devin Booker in the final 109 of this game had 3 key assists on a Josh Okigie 3, that Eric Gordon 3 we talked about, and then found Jusuf Nurkic cutting the basket off of a roll and made it 108-104 with 10 seconds left. Devin Booker's passing as much as his scoring won this game tonight, and he showed that this team has enough playmakers that you don't need the traditional point guard to be able to get it done, even in the toughest of scenarios, because that's where everybody goes, that's when you need a Chris Paul. That's when you need a Drew Holiday, that traditional guy that can run an offense. Well, Devin Booker showed you he can run this offense, and he did it effectively.
Yeah, you're right on the money there. I think, and what's scary is he can get even better. Obviously, he had the 6 turnovers. That's quite a lot. But down the stretch, he was making the right plays. He was hitting the right guys. I love how efficient he was. He came out, started the night 9 of 11. Like, he was in his zone in the first quarter. We know he's one of the best first quarter scorers in the league. But I also love that he took 8 threes tonight.
Yeah.
He has not been hesitating. The pull-up threes have been all throughout preseason. Frank Vogel has talked about encouraging him to let it fly. We heard that a lot from Monty, but we're actually seeing it in terms of 33 three-point attempts for the Suns, and Book, pulling up off the dribble more than he has in the past. Like, I think something just clicked for him as a scorer and a playmaker in the playoffs last year, and we are seeing like a fully evolved version of Book that's only going to get better as the season goes, and he continues to like cut down on those turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it the other day about the Kobe year, where Kobe had that great year and he led that was his career year in 3-point attempts. This is what Devin's going to do. Like, Devin's going to shoot more threes than he's ever shot in his career. And that's why he's going to flirt with 30 points a game. And again, it's they're good threes, Gerald. They're not like they're good threes. They're in the flow. And he did it all preseason, and I think he's going to continue doing a year. This guy's going to be an animal to deal with this season.
Yeah, he's the second most threes on the team with 8 of them. We talked, though, a lot in the preseason, this Suns team's going to shoot a lot more threes than we saw in previous years. They only shot 33 tonight.
Only?
Well, I mean, I expect at some point they push that 40 mark. When they're connecting on him, they obviously realized they weren't hitting from deep and went other places as well. I mean, you have 95 shots tonight. Only 33 of them are from deep. So
my thing is, like we saw in the playoffs last year, where they struggled to get to double-digit threes, like in a half of a playoff game. I think what we saw tonight felt more sustainable in terms of like you can keep it there. You could probably increase it. I do think like, Eric Gordon being 2 of 9, Grayson Allen being 0 of 5, like that probably dissuaded them from taking ones that they might.
Of course it did.
There's a difference when you're in a heat check and you're launching versus like, damn, I can't buy a bucket right now. I better drive.
Yeah, shooters shoot unless they're 0 for 5 from deep.
Right.
I also think the Brad Beal thing. I mean, when you implement Brad Beal into this, it's going to open up lanes and open up a lot of pockets, and there'll be more threes. So, I'm cool with 33 tonight.
What's Book's threes made record? 7? Is it 7?
6 in the regular season.
6 in the regular season.
Smash that.
He's gotten there so many times. We need him to just bust
Is
through.
this the year that we think it happens?
100%.
Yeah. I think this might be the year he has 10.
I hope
he
so,
might have 10 in
that
the game
joke
this year.
needs to die.
Saturday
Saturday 10?
I mean, I think just the willingness in which he is shooting those shots nowadays is going to open the door for us to bust through that record for the first time ever in the regular season, because it's happening more often. So I'm excited for that, but I'm totally on board with Book taking more 3-point shots this season.
I've got one other thing I really liked about Book tonight. He only played 37 minutes. I like that number. If you can keep these guys, 35 to 38 minutes in a game, especially in one that you don't even have Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
I like that number. Keep the mileage down a little bit. So.
Okay, that's a great point you bring up, because there was somebody in the chat who is already concerned about Book kind of wearing down or burning out.
Already?
What is an ideal minutes kind of average that you would think for Devin to stay?
Probably
35, 36?
Probably 34, 35.
Okay.
I think the last 2 years he's averaged 34.6, 34.5, 33.9. So probably somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And then playoff time, he'll probably be playing 40. But hopefully your improved bench makes sure he's not playing, 45, 44 like he was last year.
Yeah, down the last few months of the season in the playoffs,
Right.
he barely got a breather. So
Yeah, and again, Brad Beal.
Right.
Right.
Like, come on. Like, he played 37 minutes tonight, and I'm almost certain if Brad Beal plays in this game, that's more like 34, 35 for sure. So
Yeah.
by the way, to the person that asked me if I'm okay with headband Book, no, I stay with anybody looks dumb in a headband. So.
But if he averages 32, 8, and 6, will you come around?
Oh, no, hold on. Devin Booker, if he's going to average that, can wear whatever the hell he wants.
Okay,
I just don't have to like the look.
Okay.
I love the player. There's a difference.
I mean, I'm on
Listen.
your side as far as the headband, but I was just curious.
I agree. Like, I love headband Book. I love beanie, all the different versions of headwear
You just
Book.
love
okay?
Book, all right?
But
Well, don't we all?
I was saying, though, even today when he came out with the headband on, that I loved when it was like a special treat, like when we didn't know we were going to get headband Book, and then all of a sudden it was a surprise. And I kind of miss that element of surprise when it comes to headband Book. So we'll see if he continues to rock it for the rest of the season, or if he's just trying something else.
maybe
to start
headband
things
Book
over.
is the new MVP Book.
I mean,
that's-
maybe.
Definitely our bright shining star of the game.
Yeah. I mean, Devin and his headband are both our bright, shiny,
Nope, the
big,
sun
bright,
doesn't.
shiny
The
star.
big bright shining star doesn't have a headband on it. Suck it.
Oh, no.
Suck it.
Well, Devin finished with 32 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and he was 13 of 21 from the field, 3 of 8 from deep. Congratulations to Devin for being this season's very first big, bright, shiny star. We also have a few more flowers to give to Devin because he also moved up on the Suns leaderboard. He is now 6th in Suns history in all-time in-franchise assists. And that's pretty cool. And I wish I could tell you who is above and below on that graphic, but I don't have it in front of me, so you guys got to do it.
Jason Kidd's above him in 5th, and he just passed Jeff Hornacek tonight.
His former coach.
Yep.
And it's only a matter of time before Devin's probably at the top of pretty much all of these.
At the whole record book.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
The whole
I'm telling
thing.
you.
Yeah,
It's insane.
It is inevitable.
Yes. All right. We do have a couple super chats here. The first one is from James. Thank you, James. We appreciate you. Said, well, that was stressful. Great win. Huge buckets in the last 2 minutes. Erased that horrible third quarter. What happened to Gray tonight? Yikes. Hashtag beat LA. We will get to Grayson Allen here in just a little bit. But yes, thankfully, we got the win and erased that third quarter. I don't want to think about that third quarter ever again.
Man.
No, I'm good.
That was awful, 100%. We also got one from Jacoby. Thank you for your super chat. Said, gritty win. Love to see it. Can't wait to see this team with a fully healthy roster. I'm loving the depth. Who needs a traditional point guard when we got Book?
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah, thanks.
Positionless.
Yeah, and I think he is part point guard. Like he's a hybrid.
Right.
I mean, I don't know why that's tough to understand. He and I think Bradley Beal are both very much hybrid guards, especially the way they're going to use them this year.
It was a few years ago when people were laughing at the comparison that like Book could make a James Harden type leap in terms of a shooting guard who could score but also play make. And while James Harden is an elite playmaker and passer, Booker is not that far off. He needs to cut down on the turnovers, and I think he'll gradually improve as the season goes on. But like he can read the game, and his pick and roll reads are phenomenal. He knows where the skip passes are going to be. He understands his teammates. He reads the game at a high level. Like he's a much smarter player than people give him credit for.
Yeah, Book's a guard. Like I hate when like point guard, shooting guard. Book's a guard. He's a basketball player. You know, the guy that Book reminds me of the most in the past was Brandon Roy. Like that's the guy that I look back and I say, damn, like if Brandon Roy didn't get hurt, he'd probably be Devin Booker. And so when I remember looking at Brandon Roy, I mean, he was a guard. Point guard, he was a 2 guard, he did it all. So I think Book can do all that. And then this is unleashed Book. This is like point guard Book plus, hey, go be Steph and shoot 10 threes a game. And that's crazy.
Can I go back to the headband thing for 1 second?
We're going all the way back there, huh?
That was like 5 minutes ago.
I've got to look. This is where Book learned how to wear a headband.
Oh no!
This is where my hate for headbands started. I looked like that in one.
Look at
and
that.
that's terrible. Don't look.
You look like Jared Dudley.
Don't
I told you that.
Don't look at the score that was on that 2K screen.
That was the 2K game?
It was 60 to 17 at half.
Listen, the fact that you scored 17 points in the first place is impressive. So just lean into that.
That's why that happened, because of the headband.
It was-
Is that why you hate headbands?
Why I hate headbands.
Gives him trauma.
You need to retire that.
Goodness gracious.
Control.
All right, one more super chat, and then we'll get to the rest of them here in just a little bit. This one is from Luis. Said, did you see the Suns working out after the game? Winners work. Wait, did they?
Mark
Did
J.
they?
Spears got a video of them, and every team does this, but
Yeah.
it's that winners work thing that's never going to go away now. So might as well embrace it.
I believe
mad
it's
at it.
Winners Nurk. Thank you very much.
Winners
Ooh,
nerd.
I
Oh,
like that.
whoa. Okay,
New
Espo.
shirt?
Look at you. Speaking of new shirt and Devin Booker being our big, bright, shiny star, we did just launch a brand new t-shirt. It is the One Nation Under Book shirt. So if you have not seen that one, you are absolutely missing out. If you want to get your hands on this beauty, go to gophnx.com, click the merch tab. Don't be without some of the best merch you can get your hands on for this season, you guys. Just don't be that person.
I love the attention to detail. Like the wings are like little flames. That's pretty cool.
The talons are vicious, which I'd imagine if Booker was a bird, it would be vicious talons. So
Yeah, it's fire.
Yeah, absolutely. Be sure to check that out. And also make sure you check out our friends over at Empire Today. Empire Today does amazing flooring, right? So if you just bought a house or if you're looking to upgrade your home, Empire Today is the first place to start. You get to shop at home. You get to shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation. Working with Empire Today is easy. It's quick. Again, it's convenient. And it's absolutely phenomenal. They do such a great job in helping you figure out what exactly it is that you need for your space and then bringing it all to life. And right now, if you schedule a free in-home estimate today, all listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use the promo code PHNX. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/PHNX for details. Also, make sure you check out our friends over at Four Peaks. Four Peaks comes alive in the fall. Like, don't get me wrong. They're great all year round, but they come alive in the fall because it's pumpkin porter season. Also, they've got all of the great things going on out at the brewery. So like brewery tours, Stein Holding, Oktoberfest, you name it. They've got it going on. So visit fourpeaks.com/locator to find all your favorites from the brewery and check them out on social at Four Peaks Brew or at Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. You do have to be 21 years or older, and we ask that you please drink responsibly.
Let's be very clear. It's always pumpkin porter season if they made it all year long. I would drink that all the time.
It's delicious.
But it's just like a pumpkin spice coffee. It loses its luster if you just have access to it all the time.
Not true.
I kind of think you do. I think you do.
I would drink it year round, but it does hit differently in the fall.
That's true.
I will say that.
That's
it
true.
does. It absolutely does.
I don't
Especially
drink coffee.
put a little espresso in it
Yeah.
with the beer. It's wonderful.
Wait.
I don't know about
espresso in the
I
pumpkin
don't know
porter
about this
beer?
guy on that one.
It's like an adult peppermint pumpkin spice latte.
Listen,
why
Espo,
not?
I wish I could try this pumpkin porter beer at this point because I feel like you're onto something. I really do.
He's not. Don't.
I feel like you're onto something.
Put 4 shots of espresso in it and try it. I mean, go ahead.
All right, gentlemen, let's continue to hand out some flowers. Who do you want to start with, Jusuf Nurkic or Josh Okigie? You know where my answer is.
So we're going to start with Jusuf then.
Rude. What do you guys like that you saw from Nurk tonight?
just aggressiveness. I mean, he had a double points and rebounds in that first half. He was all over the floor. He had 3 assists, but his picks, the spacing that he helped create early on, without him on the floor, they struggled at times offensively. But like I mentioned in the whatever minute disaster we had at the beginning of the show, when he came back in the second quarter along with Book, they went on a 17-3 run.
Yeah.
I think he is going to be a major linchpin in this offense running smoothly.
Yeah. It just, when we had Dario on that 21 run, he was like the glue guy. This is what Nurk reminded me of tonight. He's just a glue guy. He makes everything tick, makes everything look easy. And, the double-double, the first half was dominant. And then to close the game was terrific. So I love what he did tonight.
Yeah, he did exactly what you need him to do in terms of double-digit rebounds, like the double-digit scoring. You'll obviously take that. You probably won't need that all the time with the 3 scores when everybody's healthy. He was efficient. He got to the free throw line a couple of times. He had 3 assists. Like, guys were cutting off him, knocked down the 3 in the first half. And I liked that he was engaged defensively, I think more than we saw in the preseason even. Yeah. He had talked to us at practice about how he feels like 90% of NBA players don't care about the preseason. And I think he's definitely one of them because there was a lot more effort on the defensive end from him tonight. He was engaged. He still has his flaws on that side of the ball, and the Warriors are clearly still figuring things out on offense. They missed a ton of shots, but he was engaged as a rim protector, and he was able to close out possessions with a board. We saw how many offensive rebounds they gave up when he was not on the floor. And then he was able to close it out. That nice pick and roll with Book, finished strong in the lane. His finishing is something we're going to keep an eye on because he is not as good as DA in that regard. But if he just does what he did tonight, that's more than enough.
I just want to throw this in there. In the first half, did you see him bring the ball up?
Yeah, a couple times.
That's another part of his game that people are just going to gloss over. But I think he's just such a dynamic player and smart basketball guy. And then Book trusting him at the end is terrific.
Yeah, I think the 2 biggest things that I'm looking forward to seeing more of Nurk is the ball handling, being able to bring the ball up the court if he needs to, and then also 3-point shooting. Like, listen, I know it's not going to happen every night. I know it's not going to be lights out every time, but I'll take a couple threes from our big guy.
And scoring the first basket doesn't hurt either.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, it does hurt.
That's right. Shout out to Jusuf Nurkic. We're going to be best friends this year. I already know it.
Shout out to Paul in the chat. He just asked, is Klay Thompson Walmart Book? I think that's being kind. But anyways.
He said Kmart too.
No, he said Walmart first.
Oh, he said Walmart.
Okay, you can't call him Kmart. All the Kmarts are closed, all right? He at least showed up. So, I mean.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's like Sears, a book where there's 3 or 4 of them left open.
Y'all trying to start some beef between Klay and Book again? I'm staying away from that.
Listen, I don't think there's going to be beef between Klay and Book, even if the media tried to create it, because they already squashed that.
Yeah, because
they
Klay
handled it
realized that Book's
perfectly
the
this
best
time.
If we keep calling him Kmart Book, there's going to be some beef.
It's Sears Book. Get it right.
Sears Book.
But it's going to be beef with us, not necessarily beef with Book.
I get it.
You'll learn real quick here, Flex, that I stir some shit.
Espo averages like 2 clips per show that are just designed to piss off.
So I got to stay away from you.
Don't put them on Twitter. We'll be all right. All right.
Now you know how it feels when he traps me in the 2-shot.
I miss our 2-shot right now, Jared.
I'm glad we don't have it.
All right, listen, I already got a comment in the chat that told me that I'm not allowed to jinx Josh Okigie. But here's the thing. One more time for the people in the back. It was not me that jinxed Josh Okigie last season. It was Espo and it was Saul, okay? I have been team Josh Okigie from the jump, and I'm still team Josh Okigie.
You sure are.
I wanted to give Josh Okigie our big, bright, shiny star tonight, but Gerald wouldn't let me. And listen, I know Devin deserves it.
Damn.
But I am so proud of Josh Okigie. I mean, listen, you guys, I love this guy's story. He like, nobody really even knew who Josh Okigie was at the start of last season. And then he had to step in and he became a starter, and he performed really well for this team in his first stint as a starter on the Phoenix Suns, a team that was looking to win a championship. He beat out some guys who we all thought could potentially win that 5th starter spot this season, and has showed us that he is more than capable of maintaining that spot. And he's I'm just so proud of Josh Okigie. I love him. Like,
are you getting teary-eyed
he's
over
my
there?
sweet baby
There we
angel
go.
right now.
Really?
Right now.
Damn.
Because
Already?
I just really love Josh's story. Like, this has been, and it's so easy to root for him. And I want to continue to see him grow with this squad. I want to see him continue to be successful. And I'm just really happy for him.
Yeah.
Like, it's dope.
Yeah.
Did Lindsay just not watch a lot of Minnesota Timberwolves basketball back?
No, Josh.
Did anyone?
Josh's story is incredible. And
Wasn't last year the first time he started in a game? Was that not the case?
No, I'm pretty sure.
No,
had
he
to
started
start
in
in
Minnesota. He
Okay.
started in Minnesota.
Then maybe it was
Here.
just the Suns when he
First
started.
one
Maybe
here,
I
yeah.
misremembered that story. But either way, still happy.
Josh is incredible, and his story is incredible. Like, he got here on a lotto. Like, it was a Visa Lotto thing where he got. I mean, he's just a terrific young man. Great story. Works really hard. And Lindsay was pushing all night. I mean, all night. It was impressive to see it play out, though, because she kept pointing it out and things kept happening. And then when he hit the three in the corner, I'm like, damn. Okay,
Yeah.
Linz, you got that.
My favorite was when he stepped out on the court for the tip, and Lindsay was like, "Big bright shining star!" It's amazing.
Well,
no, but I mean,
don't know about that.
what you got to give him credit though. On the boards,
He
4
was great.
offensive rebounds. He was
Yes.
around everything.
Fighting through contact
mean,
left
yeah.
and right.
I mean, it's 7 of 9 from the floor too. Without him and his efficiency tonight, this team would have been in a world of hurt. I mean, if he goes 2 of 9 like a lot of the other guys out there tonight, this is a different story. He was a big reason why they won tonight, and he does deserve his flowers in every way, shape, and form. And he's a big reason why Clay and Steph struggled at times, because he played defense on both of them. Clay finished 6 of 19, Steph finished 8 of 20, and you got to give Josh Okigie some credit for that.
That was one of the best Josh Okigie performances that we've seen in a while, and I love that he submitted it on opening night to remind people, like, yeah, this is why I'm a fit for that 5th starting spot with this group. And that doesn't mean he'll hold it all season long. It doesn't mean that in a playoff matchup he'll be the right guy for that job. But, like, he does a lot of the intangible stuff. You mentioned the defense and him fighting through screens and contact to keep up with two greatest shooters that the game has ever seen in Steph and Clay. The offensive boards, he had 5 rebounds. 4 of them were on the offensive end. He had 2 putbacks that were and ones, double clutch layups.
Yeah.
He was real efficient around the basket. And then that corner 3 that he hit, that is the shot that's going to keep him on the floor. That is the shot that defenses are going to give him all season long. And he said to us, you know, he's talked about last year was his best year shooting the ball, but he started the year shooting really poorly those first couple months. So in his mind, if he just raises those first couple months like last year, this year, he's going to have the best shooting year of his career. So obviously 1 of 1. We're not going to read too much into that for one
100%.
game. But that is the exact shot that defenses are going to force him to take and make. And, you know, hats off to the guy because he nailed the first one that he got.
Yeah, no, he looked like he fit. Like, he looks more comfortable. He looks like he understands he's the 5th guy and he's earned the right to be the 5th guy. And it's a big difference from last year. Last year, it felt like he was just trying to fit in. Now I feel like he's on the court and he's saying, man, I belong here. I belong here and I should be a part of it. Can I give one shout out to a group real quick? That group in the 4th quarter that we talked about, I'm not sure if we're going to bring it up, but it was Goodwin, Gordon, Yuta, KD, and Eubanks. That little spurt, those 5 guys, it was 88-80.
Yep.
And then they brought those guys in, and I'm true transparency. I was worried when they saw that lineup. I was like, oh man, I don't know. And they went out there and they hooped, and I think they tied the game. So
Yeah, Jordan Goodwin and Yuta both had buckets in that run. And, yeah, they tied it at 88 apiece with about 9:45 to go in that game, and that was kind of the turning point.
And the key there for me was we saw a very similar group in the first quarter and second quarter take the floor when they went on that scoring drought. The difference was Vogel left KD in there for the 4th quarter stint
correct.
in place of somebody else, and it was night and day difference. So I credit Vogel. Like, obviously it's a regular season game. You're not going to stagger Book and KD throughout the game opening
Why
night
not?
when Beal's out because you don't want him playing 40 minutes. But he made the adjustment the second time around, and it really paid dividends to get them back in the game.
Yeah.
All right, we figured it out. Hello in the chat has got it, nailed it on the head, right? Hit the nail on the head. Okogie is Lindsay's Met 2 for flex.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Okay.
Not the sweet baby angel, because that just, it doesn't fit correctly.
Right.
But what Chimezi Met 2 is to flex, Josh Okigie is to me.
I get it. Only Kogie's playing and Metu's sitting.
Right.
So really what
But
you're
he'll get some run eventually.
Yeah,
He will.
hopefully,
He
yeah,
will.
yeah.
So
We'll see
really
it.
what you're saying is both of these guys are just your Frank Kaminsky. I
Yes,
understand.
you get it, Espo.
You got
Whether
it.
you want to admit it or not, you get it.
There you go.
All right, a few more super chats. Thunder Stan, thank you for your super chat. Said Nurt got about 10 more rebounds than DA would have got.
Damn.
Damn, we don't want to go there, but might be right.
I don't know who that guy is you speak of.
Oh man.
We got one from Trevor. Thank you, Trevor. Said, great night, but stressed out. Go Suns and D-backs. Listen, both of these games had everyone on the edge of their seats in moments.
Yep.
Shout out to the D-backs, though. That's super freaking exciting. Listen, it was a great night to be an Arizona sports fan. That's for certain. And Colin said the same thing in the next super chat. So, Colin, look at you. Look at you, Colin. Said it's a good day to be an Arizona sports fan. Maybe I should have read ahead on that one a little
It's
bit.
not good. It is a great day to be an Arizona sports fan, all right?
Oh, my goodness gracious. James, thank you for your super chat. Said, go Suns. Boys lifting some iron afterwards. Feels like 2021 vibes. Beat LA.
Winners work.
Winners
Winners,
work.
Nurk.
Oh no.
We got another.
I got Flex to finally do it. All right.
Flex is like, what did I agree to? This is game
Wow.
one of
That was
82.
the biggest sigh I think I've heard Flex sigh since he came here.
Never been part of a
On and
post game
off
like
the
this,
show,
have you?
Whoa, that's fantastic. All right, we got one from Jacob. Jacob, thank you so much. Said, Duke Allen fan. He only had 2 games last year without a 3. Calm down. Love that Allen and EG won't stop shooting. Shooters shoot, and we need that. Absolutely, Jacob. And here in just a second, we are going to talk more about those guys, Kevin Durant and Drew Eubanks. But listen, the Suns' home opener is coming up. They are going to be playing in Phoenix this Saturday. And if you have not gotten tickets yet for that, make sure you check out our friends over at Game Time. Game Time is such an amazing place to get tickets for sporting events, concerts. I love it because it's got really good deals on last-minute tickets, and that fits right in with my personality. Like, it just is what it is. It's also the fastest-growing ticketing app in the country, and it's that for a reason. They are that good. So snag tickets without the stress with Game Time. And right now, you download the Game Time app, you create an account, and you use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHNX. You're going to get $20 off your first purchase. So one more time, in case you didn't hear, download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. Also, we know Devin's going to have some sneakers coming out here soon. We've heard a rumor. I think he said it himself, like the orange ones, the first ones this year, that was like a 500 limited drop of his sneakers, which kind of sucks, but don't worry. I'm sure there will be more coming soon. But if you want to be one of the first ones, one of the best resources out there for you when it comes to sneaker drops of all kinds is, of course, Soul Savvy. You don't have to miss out on the biggest sneaker drops when you download the Soul Savvy Drops app. And they've been around since 2018, and their mission has been and continues to be getting sneakers in the hands of the people who love them the most. So no matter if you are a sneakerhead or you're just kind of a casual buyer, but you want to buy them at retail prices and not the resale prices, Soul Savvy is the place to be. So sign up for Soul Savvy by clicking on the links in the description of this show or by visiting links.soulsavvy.com/PHNX or head over to the App Store and download the Drops by Soul Savvy app.
I downloaded it because, Flex promised me I can get in the club if I get a pair of the Chapter 1, so I got to be ready.
Gotta get 'em.
I'm waiting for the drop in the
Gotta get
Soul
'em.
Savvy app.
The sneaker thing with Book, that's a soft launch. So in December,
yeah.
dropping 5, and then they're gonna have the actual launch, and you can get them.
I'm going to buy all 500 of them.
And a bunch of different colorways.
They're
as
gonna
well.
have a bunch of colorways. Yeah. So
salary
you'll be. I know because people have reached out. They're like, he's only dropping 500. I'm like, no, bro. Like he's gonna drop 500 soft launch, and then we're gonna be good, and you'll get in the club.
I just like the shoes. I don't even think that's going to happen. I don't need the club. So.
All right, guys. Listen, we talked about it to start the show. There were some ups and downs to this game, and that includes some players who had some down nights, right? We're talking Kevin Durant, Eric Gordon, Grayson Allen, Drew Eubanks. Let's
Damn.
start with KD first. It was not a typical night for KD. And I feel like we have been saying that a little bit here, but I'm still not ready to go full blown. KD's washed. We need to worry about Kevin Durant. We saw this then. We're seeing it again now. I'm not ready to do that just yet. Where are you guys at?
How does somebody go from this crazy? I mean, how do you go from wash, like you can have a good game, you score 30 on Monday and you have a bad game Wednesday and you're washed? Like, that's just silly to me. Like, we just saw him in the preseason. He had one of the better games. I think he had, like 8 for 9, right, in that preseason game. He had a stretch where he hit 8 out of 9.
Yeah.
Kevin's fine, man. I mean, he works his way into the season. He had a bad night. He got 20 and 10. Relax. Not you, Linz. I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
No, you too.
yeah.
What did I do?
Not you.
What
yeah,
did
I'm
I
just
do?
saying, yeah, these guys.
You decided not to sit with us. That's what you did.
Yeah.
Or did you just not let me? You were
That's
Regina
terrible.
George.
That's terrible.
Espo Regina George.
You can't sit with us.
You guys.
By the way, remember, tomorrow's Wednesday and we wear pink. Anyways, Kevin Durant was the only player in NBA history to shoot 55% from the field, 40 from 3, and 90 from the free throw line. When did that happen? Last year. It's one game. Kevin Durant is not washed. Kevin Durant had a bad game.
And I think it's natural. Like, it was an emotional night for him. This is something I wrote about earlier today. He had been talking about, like, yeah, when I'm, introduced and I see the people that I played for years and the people in the organization and those memories come rushing back, like, it might bring some emotions up. And he finally got his long overdue, welcome back tribute video in front of fans, because that was the first time he played in front of fans there since 2019. So that was cool for him. I think it's first game jitters. I think since he's been in Phoenix, his shot selection hasn't always been the best. And I think that's a feeling out process that as you get used to playing with Book and then Bradley Beal, it'll improve. The one thing for me is that the ball security needs to be better. It feels like it's been slapped out of his hands more often than I'm used to seeing, at least during his time with Brooklyn and the Warriors, obviously. But, he's 35. He's not on the way up anymore, obviously, but I think he's still a lot better than what we saw tonight and what we've seen, the past 20 games or whatever he's had with Phoenix.
Right.
Look, I'm just going to say, if this is a washed Kevin Durant, I'll still take it. 18, 10, 3 assists, a block. Yeah, a washed Kevin Durant's still better than 2/3 of the guys that were on the roster last year if he played like this every game. So I'm not going to freak out about that.
It's another thing that we don't talk enough about is how good was Devin tonight? Devin was great, right? Is that not because of Kevin being on the court to an extent?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So, I mean, it's more than just stats with Kevin. Like, his presence is still very strong. And a lot of these guys are going to look better because Kevin's on the court. And so he may not be ascending as far as like stats and stuff like that, but his presence is still very much Kevin Durant. And that's he wins. I mean, what's his record in the regular season with the Suns? Take the playoffs out. It's impressive.
Yeah.
He's only lost a couple games when he plays basketball in the regular season for the Phoenix Suns. So as long as we keep winning, I'm cool.
Okay, so Lindsay mentioned Drew Eubanks as one of the guys that didn't have a great game. But the more I think about it, I think he didn't have a good first half when he came in.
Yeah.
But I
That's
think
fair.
he played much better in the second half. Offensively, whatever. He had 4 points. Not a big impact there, but he had 8 rebounds. Had 3 blocks. He had 2 assists himself. Like, I feel like he kind of got into the rhythm, especially on the defensive end, a little later on. And early on, he wasn't getting boards. I mean, he looked rough on the boards, but he really picked it up later on in the game. So he may be a guy that's just trying to feel it out early, but I think overall he had a pretty good game when you consider he only played 19 minutes as well.
Yeah, he course corrected in a huge way in that second half, because the first half the Suns were getting creamed on the boards with that second unit that was out there. He threw a couple of really bad passes after he did get a rebound that were picked off. But he was a lot better in the second half. Eric Gordon found him on that one pick and roll cut for a dunk. You mentioned the 3 blocks. Like, he's a guy that's going to dunk a lot and block a lot of shots. He's going to challenge a lot around the rim. So I did like his energy, and I liked his performance in the second half.
Second half was good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I think my favorite moment was, I don't remember who it was on the Warriors, forgive me, but he went up and he tried to get a poster on Eubanks. And Eubanks just went straight up and was like,
didn't back down.
You're not gonna do that to me. That's what I do. You don't do that to me.
Right. So, probably fouled him, but it's fine.
Well, you know what? They didn't call it, so win.
But the EFAF, here's the thing. He was part of that big lineup too. Mm-hmm. That lineup we talked about that started the fourth, that kept the Suns in the game. He was a part of that. So again, box score is not pretty, but I like what I saw in the second half.
All right, we talked a lot about Eric Gordon at the top of the show, but we'll kind of address it here again. And, the same way with Drew Eubanks kind of course correcting, Eric Gordon, when it mattered the most, the shot went in. Mm-hmm. And that's something that he brings just as a vet to knowing that he can keep shooting and eventually they're going to go in. What do you hope to see different from Eric Gordon moving forward?
Just make shots.
Yep.
Just make shots.
It really is as simple as that.
16, I'm fine.
Play the same damn game you played. Just make shots, and they'll go in. He'll be fine. When he hit, what I love, and it's a basketball thing. When he hit that three, you saw what he did to Book. He shook his head like, what the hell? Like,
right.
And Book's like, bro, shoot it. Like, shoot it, dog. So I love that. He's a vet. He'll be fine. He's one of those guys that next game against the Lakers, he'll hit like 5 or 6 threes. Yeah. So
and like we talked about earlier, it came through in the clutch with that three in that final minute. And, I'd much rather have him have one of his 2 makes be in that moment because he can handle the pressure than earlier on in that game. Again, I think this is the outlier rather than the rule with a guy.
His fourth quarter showed why he's going to close games for his team. Like, he started the night 0 for 7 from 3. He hit his last 2. I think both of them were in the fourth quarter. He had that stretch where he hit the wide open 3. He found Eubanks for a dunk, and then he had the steal on the other end that led to the Booker layup. Like, that was a huge part of getting them back in the game. So that's exactly what you want to see. Like, the guy was 0 for 7, but he's been in the league 16 years now. So he knows to keep shooting. He knows one is eventually going to fall, and he has that confidence, that track record, that experience to keep shooting. That's what you need.
Well, I mean, old man strength. He had 4 rebounds too in this game. I know this is random, but just looking at this box score, anybody that played more than 3 minutes had no fewer than 4 rebounds on this team.
Sheesh.
It's refreshing to see a group that as a collective can get a lot of boards. It's nice to see.
Yeah.
All right. And then finally, we'll talk about Grayson Allen. A little bit of a rough shooting night for him. 0 for 6, 0 for 5 from deep. Goose egg.
Yeah.
Poor Grayson. This was just a rough night. And we got a super chat earlier. I'm not overly concerned about it.
Right.
But it is a bummer for Grayson, especially to open the season.
I feel the same way as Gordon. Just keep shooting, dog. Like, these guys are pros. They're very good. And then again, like, you don't lose your basketball talent, guys, like overnight. Like, this isn't like the Monstars or some Space
Are you
Jam
sure?
Stuff. Yeah, no, I think so. I think so, Lance. You just don't lose it overnight. Like, he was fine in the preseason. He showed the type of player he is, and he had a rough night tonight. And it's okay. But I want him taking them shots. I trust that the next game he's going to take them and make them.
Yeah, I mean, when you're 26, you don't fall off or 28, you don't fall off a cliff.
Right.
Here, that's just not what's happening here with Grayson. I think part of it too is he didn't know until later in the day that he's starting this game either. So
Correct.
Mental prep is a little bit different. Does that equate to going over? No, but I think shooters can be rhythm guys, and part of that could distract you. But I mean, he only took 6 shots. He missed them. But again, another guy that had 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He tried to have an impact in other ways as well. So
yeah, it was not a good night for him. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, he looked kind of lost out there on both ends.
Yeah.
It looked like he was struggling to find areas to attack off the drive, which is something we saw a lot in preseason. And then obviously he was missing shots. But again, it's one game. He just joined the team a week before media day. Like, he's still learning all this different stuff. He's adjusting to playing with new teammates. And he probably won't be starting.
Yeah.
Like, at least at the start of the season. Like, that'll usually be Bradley Beal. He'll be coming in off the bench. He'll be playing against opposing second units where he's going to be able to feast as a guy that started with the best regular season team in the NBA last year. He's going to be just fine.
He didn't kidney punch anybody either, so.
Yeah, no.
There was a rumor
play.
going around that he did knock that poor little lady over though.
Yo, can I get
malicious, egregious?
That was a joke. That was a joke.
I'm just kidding.
Malicious lies.
Can I give one guy some flowers?
Sure.
Nasir Little.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was really good in the minutes that he did play. He hit the big 3-pointer. I thought he was physical. He got his hands in the lanes. I think he got a steal.
Got a steal.
I liked what I saw from Nasir, and that's a tough spot. Like, he put him in a tough spot, and at that point of the game, for him to come out there and comfortably do what he did, that's impressive, and I hope that rolls over to the next game.
Yep, he made the most of his 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That shot that he hit came at a critical time too, where they needed some sort of life from 3-point range because of what Gordon and Allen were shooting.
3 minutes, but damn, it was impactful.
You know why?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Saul is laughing somewhere at that line,
Dear God.
He's averaging a point a minute.
Gerald.
Come on.
A point a minute. There you go.
Look, but this is why I hate plus minus too. He had the second worst plus minus on the team. He played 3 minutes. He scored 3. What the hell else is the guy supposed to do?
That's one where the sample size is just not.
It
just
doesn't
not
matter.
fair.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Good 3 minutes, bro. Good 3
You're
minutes,
a
my
big,
guy.
bright, shining star who only played 3 minutes. Congratulations.
Also, shout out to all of you who get my terrible sense of humor. I really appreciate you. You guys are definitely in my inner circle. But also, we hope that that lady that did fall over or get knocked over in tonight's game is doing okay. It seemed like she was able to be walking herself out to go get checked out.
Well,
So
she was
hopefully
hyping up the crowd.
She was hyping up the crowd. And she's straight, man. She can get in there and play 3 minutes like Nasir.
I'm just saying, if I was her, I would be
she's about
making
the same
jokes
age
about
as Chris
myself
Paul.
too. That's all I'm saying. Y'all are in my inner circle. And listen, you may not be in mine, but you can definitely be in Circle K's inner circle. It is a new free membership program, and it comes with a lot of great perks. First and foremost, you save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. You get every 6 free on a selection of Circle K products like pizza, coffee, ice cold fountain drinks, and more. So join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions do apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. It's my favorite part of the show, you guys, only because I won. We're going to check in on our pregame bets. So you guys, listen, if you are new here, last year we started this thing where every pregame before each Suns game, we place a $10 bet on the BetMGM Sportsbook app. And we're keeping a running total over the course of the entire season to see who comes out with the most money in their pocket at the end of the season. Yes. Saw one last year, done and over with. We're starting fresh this year. And I got to start the season with a W. How did Saul or Flex, Espo? Saul lost, by the way, today. Saul lost his bet. How'd you two do?
Flex is in the money, baby.
Hey-o!
There we go.
We in the money, Lens.
Okay.
We good. I mean, this is light work. Saul, you in trouble, dog. I'm letting you know. And I can't wait to do it again Thursday.
I'm just going to say this. I think this is total crap. Devin Booker should have had that first shot. Oh, my gosh. Who is this?
Guys, we got a
What do
special
we have
guest in the
here?
studio.
Whoa!
Breaking
Look at
news.
this.
I don't know if you guys heard, we're going to the World Series. Did you guys?
Hey,
Did you drink that whole bottle?
I may have. You guys
All
can
right.
have that. Just for, go ahead, keep that.
I just smelled like
That's fine. It's
championship vibe just come in, bro. You smell like a champ,
That
dog.
was called booze.
Winner's
not,
work.
Not championship vibe.
Winner's work.
Winners work. Okay, back to my win. I'm just kidding. Shout out to the D-backs. No, but for real, though. Let's take a look. Emma, can you put that graphic back up for me, please? Okay. So Espo and Saul are in the negative. They are -10. Flex, you made $42 on your bet tonight, and I made $60 on my bet tonight. I'm telling you, listen, I know Book can go off in a first quarter. I think Nurk might be our guy this year for the first field goal cash cow. I genuinely do.
We cannot determine this yet because
Why not?
Because Beal wasn't out there, and
Okay,
that
that's
could dramatically
fair.
change.
That's- you know
Devin's
what,
going to be
you're not
able
wrong.
to get his shot off
I'll give
when
you that.
Beal's out there. He wanted that 3, and he wanted to win me money. And unfortunately, Lindsay won.
I think for tonight's game, Nurk was an excellent pick, Lindsay.
Thank you.
I told you that.
Yes.
I'm not rooting for you anymore, though.
So you gave her insider info.
Lynn.
I see how this goes.
I had no idea what she was going to do.
Me.
I am not rooting.
Rude.
I was rooting for Lindsay when it happened. I was happy for her.
But then I got sassy.
And then she gave me the smoke later on. I'm like, okay, this what we doing now.
Yep.
All right, it's on.
Yep.
So no more cheering for Lindsay's first bucket, but that was a hell of a pick.
Listen, the worst and the best part of this game and these picks is that Espo left at the very beginning. He was downstairs of our building.
Yep.
He was watching on his phone though, but all the three of us and Emma were upstairs watching the game, and I was cheering so loud and just screaming, "Suck it, Espo!" And he couldn't even hear me.
He ain't even here.
You couldn't even hear me, but I know you felt it in your soul, Espo. I know you felt it.
I sensed it. I messaged you F you immediately. And I think I also scared the security guard downstairs with how angry I was in the moment. So, yeah,
Oh
I
my
felt it.
God, it was fantastic. But if you guys want to get in on this competition with us, you can pick and choose whose bets you want to take. You could join us for the competition. Just sign up for the BetMGM Sportsbook app and use code PHNX when you sign up. With that code, you place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through the BetMGM Sportsbook app of at least $10, and you're going to receive $200 instantly in additional winnings, regardless of your wager's outcome. $200 free, you guys. You can check out the show notes for full details, and now you can listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., New York, or Ontario.
All right, gentlemen, we have a couple more super chats to get to here. We've got Beast Mode. Thank you for your super chat. Said, think we saw Book's first game in the Book ones tonight.
Yep. He's averaging 32, 8, and 6 in the book.
Get used to it.
Pretty good numbers.
I'm not mad at it.
Got to be the shoes.
All right, this one comes from Butch. Thank you so much for your super chat. Said, if we lost to Ancient CP3 at his cribs, I was going to do bad things. Just kidding. I changed that a little bit just to keep it a little more PG. If you're here on YouTube, you can read it yourself.
I thought he said he was going to go to a club with a baby seal.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Oh, Gerald.
But I understand why you would be upset, Butch. I get it. We got another one. This one's from Leo. Said, we need Gerald's win-win song. Do it, Gerald. Do it
live.
Do it, Gerald. Do it.
I need to hear it,
Do
you
it.
guys.
Do it.
Win. Win, 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 win. Curb everything else. Win, 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 win.
Let's go.
I need to change the song this year, sons. I need a different win song this year.
I love
can't
it.
hear that so many times.
I'm really excited to see what it's going to be this year. Oh, this is
It's going to be
exciting.
Gerald's rendition.
It's going to be the same song.
Bro, if it was Gerald's rendition, that would be the funniest thing in the
The people
entire
filing out would be
world.
like, what the hell is
Funniest
going on?
That'd be
thing.
fire.
Why is Mr. Mackey singing his song?
Big Vernon sent us a super chat, said, can I get a cheesesteak from Circle K?
Damn, good question.
I believe you can.
Maybe,
You can
honestly.
get chicken
Yeah.
and Swiss sandwiches.
Yeah,
pretty
they do
damn
have a
good
lot of
there, too.
sandwich
Yeah.
variety there.
Circle K is legit, you guys.
It
Circle
is.
K is we've had this conversation multiple times. I won't go down this road. I love Circle
Real
K.
quick, is Circle
I love
K
Circle
like
K.
the West Coast Wawa or no?
Yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah?
Let's make this clear. Wawa's trash.
No, it's
Suck
not,
it,
bro.
Philly.
No, it's
Suck
not,
it,
bro.
Philly.
Oh, man.
Bro, Wawa is
Okay,
legendary.
hey, let me just
bro.
tell you this. You're in Arizona now, so Wawa can suck it. All right?
I get it.
See, there's the two. The two fan bases he pissed off in one
I
night.
get it.
You know, it's so funny because everyone in the chat is last year, Gerald, when you did the win, everyone thought it was Saul. And the chat is saying, I hear Saul. I hear Saul. That sounds exactly like Saul. You guys, we
Really?
promise you it's Gerald.
No, that was 100%
I
me.
promise you it's Gerald.
That was a live remix. It was an unplugged acoustic session.
Oh
just
my
then.
goodness gracious. All right, gentlemen. Any final thoughts on tonight's game? Any additional flowers you'd like to give out or things you would like to point out from this one?
Not for me. I'm going to have a lot of fun breaking down that fourth quarter and the plays that went down, and Devin Booker's playmaking in particular. That article will be up tomorrow on gophnx.com, so make sure to check that out.
We're not going to see an offensive performance like this again. I mean, this was bizarre in every way, shape, and form from both of these teams. I expect better. I know we'll see better, and even this bodes well when you can win 108, 104 with the kind of offense that we saw tonight. This could be a very, very dangerous team.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting home. About 45 minutes, I'll be watching the game all over again, and it's gonna be fun because it was ugly and we still won, and that's a good sign for the future.
By the way, before we go, I want to give a shout out to the Yeasty Boys, our Discord group that's in the chat tonight.
Oh my
Love you.
God, are we going with that?
Yep, we're calling them the
Are we
Yeasty
going there?
Boys. My bread bros, the
Oh
Yeasty
my
Boys.
goodness gracious! I like bread bros better.
I can say both.
I mean,
No sleep till Titletown, all right?
It's a terrible reference, but I got it.
I don't care what you people say. No, you can't do shit, short timer. Sit there and be quiet.
Oh man,
24 hours, you ain't my problem
parting
anymore.
shots, man. He taking shots right now. He going at
That's
you.
Emma in the background without the mic.
Emma's so mad at you.
So.
It's because I have Emma's mic. Emma, you want my mic?
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go.
Get fucked, nerd.
Hey, Espo?
Yeah.
Get absolutely fucked, you fucking nerd. You head-ass nerd. A short timer? Dog, I've been here not since day one, but I've been here as an intern for over a year.
I'm saying because you only got 24 hours left, all right?
Okay.
And because you're 5'2", all right?
5'7". I'm not Anthony Totri. Put respect on my name.
Yeah, this is when you're standing on the chair behind the desk back there, all right.
Is all you got, like, short
Damn,
jokes?
y'all
I feel
going
like that's
at
all
it.
you pull is short jokes, Espo.
Where are the
To you and
rails?
Totri, I got jokes for other people. Don't you worry.
Hey, I'm a
Rails.
female. We're average sized. I speak for me, not others, though.
Where did the
Fucking
rails go?
nerd.
Great night in the
you
valley.
go. Now that you all have gotten the full Emma experience, it is a great time to say goodbye. Thank you all for joining us. If you are new here, make sure you hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe, rate, review. We appreciate it. And of course, follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_Suns. We're going to be back tomorrow, Wednesday at 3 p.m. with a live show for you. And then just as always, a reminder, we have a pregame show and a postgame show before and after every single Suns game. So plan to hang out with us. And until we see you next time, you can follow me on Twitter at LindsaySmithAZ. You can follow Flex at Flex from Jersey. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Bourget. And of course, you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
The Arizona Diamondbacks are the best team in the National League. Suck it, Phillies. Suck it, cheesesteaks. Suck it, Bryce Harper. Ahoy, hoy.
We all silly like the mayor.